Warning, the following video has flashing lights and also includes content that may be deemed inappropriate for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Yes, once again you have gathered the courage to venture into the darkness of the Fox Den for, of course, another episode of Midnight Lycanthropy. Yet, please, I have been sleeping for so long, I really do need to replenish lost nutrients with the feast you have brought me. Absolutely delicious. I do adore you, Miss Hartman, and thank you for releasing me from my shackles and allowing me to feast. Now that I am completely revamped, it is once again time for Barb Hartman and, of course, LordeStarfox to take a walk into the madness. It
stood up. I said, oh my god, it's a werewolf. And everybody in the car freaked out.
My creatures of the night, yes, welcome back to Midnight Lycanthropy here on LordeStarfox Radio. I do see everyone has ventured back into the darkness of the Fox Den to again sit around the late night fire as Barb and myself burn the timber into the early hours of the morning. Yes, you heard that. Miss Hartman is hanging out with us tonight. She is also my co-host and founder of my little sister podcast, Camp Nightmare Fuel, which I do hope everybody is enjoying as well. Barb, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Hello. I'm doing fine. Thank you again for having me. It's always fun.
Totally appreciate you. Yes, well, before I hopefully stir the pot with some interesting encounters from the good old 207 up here in Maine, do you have anything else you would like to touch base on that you're going to be working on, or any big plans rolling out for you?
Nope, I am just continuing to do my research on our property here up on the Olympic Peninsula, which is super active, and I just keep hearing that all the time. And I'll just mention this really quickly. I belong to a Facebook group of homeowners in this little community, and I saw this. A few people made these posts about, did anybody hear this like shrill machine, like, I forget what else they said, like noise? It was like a whistle or like a trill, and it was from, they were hearing it intermittently from, like, I don't know, I'm going to say like 12:30 up until I think the last one was like 3:54 a.m. And I just kept thinking, I wonder if it was a cryptid, and I have audio of that. I have heard them make a noise that literally sounds like a machine, but not,
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, you definitely caught some pretty interesting stuff for sure.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, it's great stuff. To the audience, yes, we are going to touch base on 3 encounters that have occurred within the last 2 years. I'm not going to say Maine every time because all 3 of these are up here. We have August 2023, a man named John, who owns a cabin in a remote part of the county, is out fishing on a lake near his cabin one afternoon with a buddy of his. As the men are talking and casting away, they hear a loud splash coming from the opposite shoreline. Looking in the direction of the splash, the two men see an enormous 6 to 8 foot tall, dark black, shaggy, human-like dog creature with pointed ears, a long muzzle, glowing red eyes, and long, lanky, human-like arms, walking out of the water as it shook itself dry. The creature turned and looked in the direction of the men before casually turning back around and walking off on two dog-like legs into the nearby forest.
Wow.
Interesting. You had a couple people here that saw it.
What else could it be? That's very interesting. Just to keep me posted.
Yeah, no, of course. All right. This next one, too, is, well, if you pull up your good old map, we have 2024 Skowhegan. Eli is awoken in the middle of the night by an enormous wolf-like creature with large ears and a shaggy mane clawing at his father's camper window as it was glaring at him, before suddenly deciding to smirk at him and then walking off into the darkness.
I still think that there's way more that don't get reported.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, yeah,
Think how many, just kind of get lost in time,
Yeah.
to maybe like smaller groups of people or weren't documented.
But basically, like, for somebody to make up a situation with a cryptid, it was probably based in some sort of reality that it would be close enough to something that actually did happen. Because if it's too far out of the realm of possibility, then it's going to, people would be like, okay, sure, that happened. So, so I think that raises the total percentage of ones that are reported, and even though the witness is fake. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. It's, again, before I read you this last one, like one of my buddies was saying, two people he was with definitely saw something through a thermal. Many things can be seen through a thermal. So one thought Bigfoot, the other one thought Dogman. He wasn't very sure. He finds this very interesting, but he still doesn't know fully where he sits on it as well, because like he said, yeah, they saw something in the thermal, but what made them immediately jump right to Dogman and Bigfoot,
Well, if it was something that was super large, though, if I'm remembering correctly, like I don't think those guys would mistake a bear for something that they didn't know that what it was. That's the thing that I think lends credence to the possibility that it's a Dogman.
Yeah. Well, this last one here for you is August 2024, and it's up in northern Maine. We have a woman who is outside playing fetch with her family dog one bright and sunny afternoon. Yes, when suddenly her dog just stops in his tracks and perks his ears up. The woman is in disbelief. An enormous, blonde-colored canine-like creature with strange eyes and a 4-foot shoulder span, glaring at her and the family dog only a short distance away. Quickly calling for her companion, the woman jolted inside and locked all the doors. What's really interesting about that one with the whole blonde coloring too is I was watching a bunch of indigenous history recently. There are numerous tribes that speak about what they call the bear people, more or less, that came down from the sky in basically UFOs, more or less. All right. And they were dropped off here.
Yes. Good point. Good point. And you could say, like, if there's any of the listeners could please reach out, right? Reach out to Kenny or reach out to me and I can put you in contact with Kenny if you have information on this, because I'd like to hear it.
Yes, you heard that, to the audience. Make sure to reach out to Barb, my co-host. You can also reach out to me here if you do have any questions about things, because we always are trying to, well, figure out what exactly is happening here for sure. Before we let you get back to some things you need to attend to, my friend, is there anything else you would like to touch base on tonight or ask any questions about these interesting encounters we just spoke about?
Yes. All in Maine. Where was the last one? Where
Northern
did that?
Maine.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
pretty much
Yeah.
right up near the good old Canadian border.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, really any places. You don't need a national forest that goes
No,
on and on and on.
but
No.
Maine, we do have the most forest
You
per
do though. That's what I was going to say,
Yes.
but you do.
So we
Yeah.
literally have your little clusters and such, but there are long periods of time where you can
Yeah.
definitely go without, connecting with people. Like when I used to date some girl up at University of Orono and I lived down here in the Portland area, it would take me quite a long time to drive up there. And it was a bunch of just empty cow fields and forest where I was like, dude, I really hope my car doesn't break down.
Right. What's the difference between Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon?
Portland, Maine is basically like a mini Boston, kind of, I guess, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah,
Huh. That's neat. That's neat. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's Portland, Oregon is a really okay. It's a really cool place. It is a really fun place, but this was I'm talking maybe over 10 years ago, and now it's not the same place, and it's really sad. It's really, really sad because that was one of the coolest places. Like, I'm not saying I'd want to live there,
hmm
but it was fun, so much fun to visit, and so like, oh my god, intriguing. But it has changed so much, and it's so sad.
Well, to the audience, we do need to allow Miss Hartman to get back to things she does need to attend to. She is a very busy individual, and you should go over and check out her content in the good old description down below. Also, be on the lookout for Barb's own shows she'll be churning out. She will be on a show tomorrow night if you're interested, where if you pop over to her thread on YouTube, you can keep track of her. Her Facebook group will also be up in the good old description. Yet, until next time, this will be the conclusion of the meeting of the Midnight Society. Thanks for hanging out tonight, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you. It is a pleasure as usual. And again, thank you for having me.
Ooh, you legends, I do adore every single one of you. And thank you for hanging out tonight. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the truth to the algorithm, and realize there are things that go bump in the night.